CRN, Digital Talk Radio, the original Talkback with yours truly, Chuck Wilder. I got Paul Stern up there close to the Hollywood Hills at the network. And we're live across America on this radio station or cable system and around the world at crntalk.com, iHeartRadio, Apple, Blueberry, Blackberry. Oh, man, so many ways to get us. When next we meet my guest, Michael Warren, he is a staff writer at the Weekly Standard, and we're going to look at his article. It's Reed's Legacy, Liberal Gains, and a Damaged Party. That would be Mr. Harry Reid. Phyllis Schlafly, national leader of the Pro-Family Movement, president, founder of Eagle Forum, writer at Town Hall Daily, and her latest, Who Killed the American Family? That's her latest book. We're going to look at her report, What's Happening on College Campuses, ? And then Bill Federer, nationally known speaker, best-selling author, president of Amerisearch Incorporated. He's the author of America, God, and Country, Encyclopedia of Quotations. And we're going to look at his excellent article. All of them are fantastic. This one called Slavery and Those Who Struggled to End It. Right now, let's go to Ron Ewart, president of the National Association of Rural Landowners, NARLO, nonprofit corporation, headquartered in Washington State and dedicated to restoring, maintaining, and defending property rights for landowners. Ron, by the way, was awarded the coveted Freedom Foundation at Valley Forge George Washington Honor Medal of Journalism. He has authored The Dimming Light of Freedom, Returning Americas to a Constitutional Republic, Do You Truly Believe in Freedom? And Stare Deep into the Cosmos. Many of Ron's writings appear on national venues, websites, blogs, forums, etc., and he also writes for newswithviews.com. Ron, how are you?
I couldn't be any better. I could be a lot younger. Thanks for having me back.
Is there an age? How old do you have to be before you can run for president? You have to be
36, I believe it is. 35, 36.
And do they have a cutoff?
I haven't seen one yet. But if they don't have a cutoff, they probably ought to look at me really closely.
That's right. And why should they look at you real close?
Well,
Chuck
at 77, I'd be 79 when I took office.
So you're seriously planning on throwing your bowling ball into the ring, so to speak?
It is kind of an experiment, Chuck, in order to get a feeling for what the thoughts are about, one, where I'm coming from, how it compares to other people out there who are running. I'm a little bit different than the average individual out there. One, I don't have the political experience that most of these guys have, and I'm not so sure that having a political experience is a total positive thing right now.
Well, I'll tell you something. If they go to your latest at newswithviews.com, it's entitled Government Doesn't Give You Freedom, You Take It. And the very first paragraph seems to me like you know pretty well what politicians do. You want to tell the listeners what they do and see if this kind of rings a bell with them.
Well, the sad part is that politicians do pretty damn well whatever they want to do because not too many people are paying attention. And they get up and they give speeches. As a matter of fact, I wrote something recently that I said, whenever you hear a politician say, whether it's something like welcome Americans or hello Americans or anything like that, probably you should run the other way. A lot of them are hollow. They are very ambitious. They want power. They want money. And if you take a look at some of the politicians that are in Washington, D.C. today, they go there broke and they come out millionaires. It's money.
Well, you say
money can corrupt people who are corruptible.
And you say in your article that they convince you that they're going to do something for you that government hasn't done before, or restart something government should have been doing in the first place. And Ron says some politicians actually mean what they say, as naive as they might be, but most politicians haven't a clue what they will be able to do for you because they're really intent on what they are going to do for them. The term honorable politician is almost an oxymoron, especially the longer a politician is in government. And the real tragedy is that millions of people believe them and hang on every single word. Absolutely. You know, and it's gotten to a point, Ron, where people do want to believe in them. They say, is this finally the guy? I saw an email today, and I thought it was kind of clever, but it really hit home. And it said, if Ronald Reagan was president, ISA would be WASA. You know, and you look at it and you say, wow, very clever.
Because
ISIS would be WASA.
He wasn't afraid to confront the bullies. The guy that we have in office right now and those surrounding him are scared to death to confront bullies. If I'd have been president when Putin threatened to go to Crimea, I would have put an entire aircraft battle group and destroyer group into the Black Sea, and I would have challenged him. Mm-hmm. And because he has not been challenged, he essentially is running amok. Now, those are pretty strong statements, and a lot of people might back up from that. But
Russia now best buddies with Iran, and now little Obama's just hopped into the same boat, you know.
He is an embarrassment, or even worse.
Well, tell me about Ted Cruz, because you mentioned him right off the bat here.
Ted Cruz was the first to come out and announce that he was going to run for president, and I listened to some of his speech, and I remember listening to it because he was only 100 miles away from where Patrick Henry issued his famous statement, "Give me liberty and give me death," or "Give me death." Mm-hmm. And it occurred to me, well, who is it that is supposed to be giving us liberty? If the government is supposed to be giving us liberty, then the government essentially owns us. We are the ones that take liberty, as we did in the American Revolution and in the War of 1812. And if people don't have that mindset that their liberty, their freedom, is a natural right, it does not come from government, it comes from nature, it comes from our Creator. And if they don't have that mindset, then they don't understand what freedom and liberty is.
And you say, if government takes away freedom, and it always will in time, freedom must then be taken back by individual sovereign citizens by force, if necessary. Wow, a guy who's thinking about being president saying, take back what you really belongs to you by force, if necessary.
How else are you? Look, I have throughout 10 years of writing have never advocated violence because I still believe that there is a solid chance once the people are more motivated. So educated, first of all, to see what's really going on, and then motivated to do something about it. I have tried for 10 years on several different initiatives to get people involved in doing something that was positive, that essentially would shine a light on what government is doing, and then making it public, communicating it all over the United States, and showing what the government is doing against them, and passing thousands and millions of laws. And at best, I get 2 or 3 people. So I finally decided I was going to take it on my own to go after the big prize.
The big dogs.
Yeah. Now, I have about one chance, let's see, what is the Powerball chances?
Yeah.
1 in 175 million?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably my chance. But it gave me an opportunity to put forth a platform of what I believe so that people could compare it against what other people believe and what other candidates believe.
You want to give the listener some of what you want to, you can give as much as you want, but you want to hit some of the high points on Imagine Ron up there. We got about 3 minutes for the first break.
Let's take the economy for one. I think I wrote in there that in our platform that you can't spend more than you take in, or you go broke. That's Economics 101. Only government does that. And since the advent of the Keynesian economic platform, or whatever you want to call it, in the 1930s, we have been spending our way into oblivion ever since. And unless that's reversed, and I've just read recent articles in the last probably couple of days indicating that the entire world is in so much debt that there may be no way to get out of it. And how do you reverse it?
Well, and you mentioned that we are in a situation right now where our non-existent foreign policy could very easily blow up in our faces into a third world war. And boy, I'm telling you, if what's going on in Iran and the president jumping up and down with a smiley face today, it shows you that there's a hell of a lot of people that aren't paying attention.
Well, I think that Krauthammer called it willful ignorance or something. Maybe it was George Will. Why this guy is doing it, you either have to believe that he's totally inept, or you have to believe that he is totally evil.
Last guest I had on was talking about, the Straits of Hormuz, how much oil Iran has, and how they could totally ruin the economic of the world whenever they're let go like that. And
then you have the Yemen Straits into the Red Sea, where Iran has a huge a presence, a violent presence in the state of Yemen, just off the coast of the Red Sea.
Maybe if you're a religious person, you should say close your prayers every night, and Lord, I hope the president is not the Manchurian candidate. I mean, it gives you a lot to think about, It
most certainly does. And I don't know if you've told your audience where to find the platform, but it is on our website.
Yeah, of course, I always get to that. That's probably the most important thing.
I'm jumping
probably,
the gun.
When I have a guest, Ron, I think I almost every break, I give out their website and everything.
Okay.
I think some people say, my God, I got to memorize, Chuck. Would you be quiet? But there's always that one, the one guy that was doing the dishes and the laundry and vacuuming the carpet, for either his guy or his wife or his girlfriend or just for himself.
Careful.
And they missed they missed that website. So if you want to check out Ron's his platform, and 2 excellent articles straight in a row, an honorable common sense conservative candidate for president, and then of this one, government doesn't give you freedom, you take it, then you would go to narlo.org, 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 and also you can read these articles at newswithviews.com, newswithviews.com. See, that's the break. Absolutely perfect, Chuck. Oh, thank you very much. Ron Ewert, President of the National Association of Rural Landowners, NARLO. We'll be right back.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
Popular demand, the show in South Point presents Tony Orlando live in concert, hit after hit, April 3rd to the 5th. Tickets at the box office, online at southpointcasino.com or charged by phone 702-797-8055. Tony Orlando at the South Point.
If you make the decision to buy the home, then you're faced with what's next. What do we do?
We started at Realtor.com.
Realtor.com gave us a lot more current information.
Listings are pulled directly from the MLS every 15 minutes.
Once you've gone through all of that, the Realtor makes it happen.
We worked with the Realtor that really knew the area.
And he knew the market.
When you have someone who has the expertise, it makes it so much easier.
Realtor.com and Realtors. Together, we make home happen. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
CRN listeners, don't forget what's cooking in wine with certified wine educator and master sommelier Michael Jordan, coming your way every Friday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Time right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio. You'll find out about the latest trends in wine, food, and the good lifestyle. And by the way, Michael Jordan can talk to those of you that are really into wine and those that are maybe just discovering wine. The great educator Michael Jordan, What's Cooking on Wine, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific on CRN.
Everybody's talking at me.
My guest, Ron Ewert. Website, narlo.org, NARLO.org. And we're looking at his latest Government Doesn't Give You Freedom, You Take It, and talking about his very well-prepared and interesting speech that he would give on his platform running for president. And we're just skipping a lot of different parts of it. I like this one about where you're talking about too many Americans, especially politicians, focusing on the negative, and they seem to get some perverted pleasure from it. And you mention your book, Staring Deep into the Cosmos, and Ron wrote, "He who looks down sees a very narrow horizon, but he who looks up shall feast on all of heaven." Quite a difference in the territory there, is there not?
Well, if you're standing looking down, you don't see much. But if you're on the top of a mountain, you can see one heck of a lot. And too many people are looking down in this world, and they do not see the whole. I have all of my life been enamored by the whole, not so much the parts. And as I wrote in my speech in this article, I look at America from the standpoint of the whole. I know all of its faults, most of them. I know that it's full of corruption. I know that people have gotten raw deals. Various groups have gotten raw deals from the United States. But on the whole, if you look at all other nations on the planet, we have done more for our own people and for the people of this world than any other country in the world.
You know, I look at this, Ron, and remember when the president said, you didn't do that, you didn't build that company, and you say, I can tell you that in spite of all of its faults, and there are many, America is an exceptional country occupied by exceptional and generous people. And let's see here. Oh, yeah. where there are so many of these other people, you know, that want to talk about America's faults and blah, 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 and telling you what's wrong, and they're going to take care of you. And basically, it is buying your vote, trying to get your vote. It's, you know, poverty. You got to have welfare. You got to have the food stamps. We got to take care of you. You can't do it on your own. Yeah, it's.
Right. Yeah, we got to make everybody
that socialism.
I love that phrase. It's not fair.
Hey, let me give you boy, this is the perfect timing here. A liberal's paradise. I got this today in the mail. A liberal's paradise would be a place where everybody has guaranteed employment, free comprehensive health care, free education, free food, free housing, free clothing, free utilities, free internet, and only law enforcement has guns. And believe it or not, Ron, there is a place that exists right now exactly like that, and it's called prison.
Yeah, that's right.
Isn't that amazing? Well, free health care, free education, free internet, free clothing, free utilities, free internet, and only law enforcement has guns.
I happen to live in the land of the $15 minimum wage that just was passed in the Seattle area and was implemented on April 1. A great story for April Fool's Day, where it jumped to $11 minimum wage. We have in the state of Washington, we already had the highest minimum wage, and now they're planning to dump it up to $15 an hour by January of 2017. And the University of Washington came out yesterday and said, we cannot pay our people $11 an hour. We don't have the money for it. And they'll have to raise tuition or get more money from the state. And this is the unintended consequences of this, which will be somewhat hidden, will always fall back on the consumer who gets to pay for all of it. And there is a limit to what the people can pay.
You know, Ron, coming up on our bottom of the hour break, and the colleges say we can't afford $11 an hour. Mm-hmm. You know, pretty soon the only thing Washington State's going to have, and Seattle especially, no college football. It'll just be the Seahawks. They'll be the only ones. So, all right, going to take a break. Ron Ewart, president of the National Association of Rural Landowners. We're going to continue with more of this article. Government doesn't give you freedom. You take it. Check out its platform at narlo.org, NARLO.org. Be right back.
We are perfectionists. We do it right and don't stop until the job is done. We build commercial zero-turn mowers with maneuverability, power, and comfort. Who are we? We are Kubota. Now, during our More Power to You sales event, you can get long-term financing as low as 0% APR on new commercial-grade Z700 series mowers.
For more information or to find a participating dealer, go to Kubota.com.
For over 20 years, you've trusted Lumber Liquidators to make high-quality, beautiful flooring affordable for everyone. Delivering this value means you get the floor you want at the low price you deserve. So we've lowered prices even more. This week, get stunning espresso, Hevea, 3/4-inch solid, pre-finished hardwood for just $2.99. Or natural strand bamboo for 41% less than our competitors. And 18-month special financing. You trust our value, we value your trust. For quality hardwood, see the flooring experts. Visit LumberLiquidators.com to find a store near you.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent, corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1,800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you can make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? Yes! According to the U.S. Census Bureau, you can make almost twice as much. Going back to college is now easier than ever. There are select online colleges that provide laptops to their students. In fact, there are thousands of college programs on your laptop. You can go to college anywhere and everywhere right from a laptop. Call My College Laptop and you can find hundreds of programs from accredited colleges and universities nationwide. Start a new career in law enforcement, business, information technology, healthcare, and hundreds of others. Call My College Laptop to find an online college that will provide you with a laptop. In no time at all, you can double your earning potential. Double your earning potential. Call now. 1-800-582-7531. That's 800-582-7531. 800-582-7531.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinns.com.
Everybody's talking at me.
CRN, Chuck Wilder, with my guest Ron Ewert, president of the National Association of Rural Landowners, looking at his platform and his latest, Government Doesn't Give You Freedom, You Take It, available at newswithviews.com. And Ron says, and I'm just reading parts of this, for the last 100-plus years, the failed ideologically of progressivism has been pushing government dependency and doing it on purpose for votes. We can be a positive influence on this world again, but we must shed the energy-robbing, mind-sapping idea that tells us we are weak, dependent, and incapable of managing our own lives in a free land. And here it is. America was best when it was regulated least. Good writing there, Ron.
Thank you. What I said is obviously what I believe, and I know that a lot of people could take that line and say, well, without any regulations at all, it would be a free-for-all like it was in the Wild West. And of course, like all things, there are limits. And we definitely should have certain kinds of regulations that make sense. But the the federal government, the local government, the state government have gone absolutely berserk in writing rule and law, and we have essentially a bureaucracy, a federal bureaucracy, somewhere around 15 of them, that write laws after law after law with very little government oversight or congressional oversight.
Especially the EPA.
Especially the EPA and of course, the IRS. And a lot of these, as I have said in my platform, I would work diligently to repeal them, abolish them.
And all is not lost, listener, because Ron points out that Americans are not pre-programmed to go quietly into the night. And you mentioned some things that have been going on in the United States showing that not everybody's just going to lie down and take it.
That's right.
Yeah, let's talk about this part of your article,
well,
gun and ammunition
the Bundy
sales.
Ranch, well, first, everybody, a lot of people are aware of what happened at Waco, Texas with the Branch Davidian, and what happened at Ruby Ridge with Randy Weaver, where essentially the government ran roughshod over these people. And in the Waco situation, over 80 people died from the fire. Now, whether the government caused the fire, or whether their actions caused the fire, or whether the Branch Davidians committed mass suicide, I don't know. But those two events went to the government. The events that are happening now and in the recent past are not going to the government. In Jarbidge, Nevada, north of Elko, the government came in and said they were going to take the Jarbidge River and make it a protected habitat for some stupid fish. And the Jarbidge people said, no way. And the other thing they were going to do is the government wasn't going to open up Forest Service road that people had been using for years and years. And so what arose was the Jarbidge Shovel Brigade. And they opened up the road. They marched in the streets of Elko, Nevada, with various signs and some weapons. And somehow or another, one of the U.S. government agents in the area was threatened. He disappeared, and the government backed down. Similar things have happened in the Klamath River area. The Bundy Ranch event, where over 200 BLM what do they call them? Stormtroopers showed up. See the oversee the collection of his cattle, Bundy's cattle, where I don't know how many people showed up, but many armed militias showed up. They stood down the government backed down. And unless the people stand up, as they did at the Bundy Ranch, and that is irrespective of the fact that Bundy was right or wrong about where he was grazing his cattle.
Or how much of the grazing fees he paid or he didn't pay.
Or didn't pay,
or
you know, whether he had the right to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
He lost it twice in court, but it was the manhandled way the government did the situation with so many armed people to oversee the collection of his cattle.
And Ron,
they did that to Wayne Hage in southeastern Nevada. And Wayne Hage and his family have been battling for over 20 years on rights they had. They've been awarded over $14 million, and the government still fights them on appeal. And unless people stand up, and they can't stand up one at a time because they'll be mowed down, they have to start standing up in large groups and demanding their rights, or demanding the government back up on some of these rules and regulations that make absolutely no sense whatsoever.
And you mentioned in the article that guns and ammunition sales up dramatically, and there's a reason. You know, when you look at Waco, all right, Clinton, you know, sending his thugs in there. This guy, the leader of the cult, so to speak, you know, he would go down to the drugstore, the liquor store, you know, like 3 times a week to buy a pack of cigarettes. They could have just, you know, staked it out, arrested him, but oh no, they got to give you this show of force, you know. Janet Reno, wonder she wasn't wearing combat boots and driving a tank. You know what I'm saying?
Hitler and drag.
And then you got, I'm telling you, Harry Reid and his solar connection to the Bundy Ranch. There's another indication of how this government's gone wrong. And I got a guy coming on next week that saying the reason he is not running anymore is because he knows if another president comes in there, he may go to jail for everything he's done, especially on visas. So he's going to get out of there real quick, you know, and then it'll be old news and just, you know, the Republicans bringing up nothing here. Keep on moving. You know what I mean?
Nothing happens in Washington, D.C. coincident. It's a coincidence. And the fact that they started getting close to him for illegal activities is probably directly related to his decision to step down.
What do you mean when you say, sadly, many of the states east of the Mississippi River have fallen to socialism? Does it seem to be that, the West still has that cowboy attitude?
You bet. I've written 2 articles. One about the West and how the idea of freedom is still fairly well alive and well in the West. And I have also written about the 13 colonies who started this march to freedom have now literally become hotbeds of socialism. Look at Massachusetts and the northeastern so-called colonies who have fallen to socialism, and they are bastions of liberal and progressive politicians. Look at Elizabeth Warren. She's an out-and-out socialist. Bernie Sanders, who's from the same area, is a socialist. Why is it that east of the Mississippi River, and not everyone, there are still open areas of what they call the flyover country that still have the American spirit in them, especially those in the rural lands. I don't know how many people know about Romania and Nicolae Ceausescu. When he became communist president, the first thing he did was to pull all the people from the rural areas and the farm areas into the big cities by force, because he knows the rural areas can be breeding grounds for independent thinking. And
have you ever heard of Agenda 21? It's almost parts of that right there, what you just said. Yeah.
By the way, there's a great deal of information on our website about Agenda 21. There's a link on the left-hand side that says Agenda 21, and people can go there. And by the way, Chuck, on the platform, they can't just go to the website to find it. They have to go to narlo.org/president.html. Otherwise, they'll never find it.
All right. It's narlo.org, then /president, then .html, right?
That's it.
Yeah, because I know I was having some problems with that, too. The interesting thing here is, I know what I was before I forget. Talking about, the West and the East, how they differ. For some reason, Ron, and maybe I'm the only person that thinks this way, but it seems like the state of Colorado says, we want to grow up and be like California. What they have done in the last 5 or 6, maybe 10 years, man, that used to be such a neat state. But look at them now.
They've been completely converted, and they're in the heart of flyover country. And I believe the impetus for most of this is coming out of the giant cities, Denver, what's Colorado Springs and those areas, east of the Colorado, or east of the Rockies. But, and then the opening up of marijuana sales in the state and in Washington state as well. They will pay for this.
Well, back to your article, you say, pardon me, until we abandon our manifold private agendas and unite, we will merely be hapless observers standing at the bottom of a dark, deep pit, wistfully hoping to save the world. And Ron says, any nation is a reflection of its people. If the people are free, industrious, educated, and courageous and strive for excellence, that nation will prosper. However, if a large percentage of the people are weak, dependent on government, ignorant, apathetic, that nation's going to fall into the black hole of tyranny. Boy, you hit it right on the nail.
Well, I try to hit it on the nail. Some might say that I have the wisdom of age. Others might think otherwise, but that's their choice, of course. And further past that, I indicate that freedom, it's like a disease or a great idea. It is infectious. And if America were to project that freedom and their goodwill and their generosity and demonstrate this great power of liberty that we have, other nations will want to demand their nation parrot our success. And I'm reading somewhat from the same article, but that way I collect my thoughts.
And it is amazing, how people wanted to flock into America when it was known as the greatest country on earth. And now, I think there's that thought may have diminished a little bit in the last 6 years. Now, it's like he just announced, the president, he's going to Honduras and 3 countries over there. And, it's too hard for you to get over here illegally. So now we're going to give you a free ticket to get here. We'll fly you into America, and we'll give you the food stamps. We'll give you the education. We'll give you, everything you need. Before, it took a little effort to get here. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's exactly what you're saying, and it would appear like he is trying to flood America with the peasants of the world, and with all due respect to the peasants of the world, and essentially pay for it on the backs of the producers in America. And if the producers, I just had a statistic the other day that said there were 86 million producers and 106 million that are getting money from the producers. That's lopsided. And eventually the producers are going to say, hey, why should I produce when I can get on the wagon and be on the receiving end? And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Mm-hmm. Ron, there is another one of your writers over there with News with Views, Marilyn Barnwell.
Oh, yeah.
If you get a chance, check out her latest article. I had her on the show, and, talking about how we're flooding the United States with all these people, as long as they're not white, okay? And there's a reason for that, and it is, she thinks, and it is because we're getting all these people from the country that already accept the dictatorship, socialism. See, they're used to it, and that's the primary concern. And
they're used, they come from welfare states, and they are used to getting money from government. And so they come here and they take advantage of our welfare system. If you took that away, that one thing away, and then you started enforcing the actual laws against employers, they would self-deport. The other major issue is that the Latino population is reproducing at a much faster rate than the white population.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
You give another 100 years, and like one gentleman said when he walked across the border, he says, one day America will be a brown country. And they're probably right.
That's her whole title of her article. And I guess as we're coming up on our final break, the other major thing is all these people coming in, never dream, never will dream, and won't have a chance to even think about a thing called the Constitution. See, they've never experienced that. Ron Ewart, President, National Association Rural Landowners, going to be right back. Don't forget to go to narlo.org/president.html. You'll get his platform there. We'll continue in just a moment.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingrovinn.com.
Exercise promotes strong posture if you work at it systematically. Dr. Stephen Weiniger.
So we teach people to focus on how they're balancing, how they're aligning, and how they're moving by exercises designed to focus them on one element. And the beginning of that would be focusing on balance, standing as tall and straight as you can, not stiff, but standing tall, and then lifting one foot so your thighs parallel to the ground, and trying to hold that for 5 slow breaths.
Don't rush the process.
If someone finds that if they lift one foot up and they're wobbling back and forth, touch the wall or stand in a doorway, especially for older people, with 2 hands on a doorway and lifting one leg up, but standing tall. The imperative, the goal being standing tall.
Work on this until you don't have to touch the wall. This exercise and others retrains your muscles to promote strong posture. Dr. Weiniger's book is Stand Taller, Live Longer. Tomorrow, getting a posture assessment. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
Homeowners, there's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home and loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Call now. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
CRN listeners, don't forget What's Cooking in Wine with certified wine educator and master sommelier Michael Jordan, coming your way every Friday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Time right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio. You'll find out about the latest trends in wine, food, and the good lifestyle. And by the way, Michael Jordan can talk to those of you that are really into wine and those that are maybe just discovering wine. The great educator Michael Jordan, What's Cooking on Wine, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific on CRN.
Everybody's talking at me.
My guest, Ron Ewert, President, National Association Rural Landowners, and we've been talking about his platform and his latest at newswithviews.com. Government doesn't give you freedom, you take it. And, very end of this piece you did, you kind of sum a lot of stuff up here, the fact that you say America will fall like so many other nations from history and become just another failed experiment with freedom, or worse, a third world banana republic. And then you mentioned some of the things, and immigration is one of the primary things that we've got to get under control.
Absolutely right. If we don't get the border under control, if we don't stop Obama from literally opening the floodgates as he's doing now, if we don't improve our economy by removing so many of the regulations that stop our economy, if we don't stop pulling money out of the economy for welfare and whatever else, and we must rein in our exploding entitlements. We're rapidly approaching being a broke nation, like many other nations around the country and around the world. And if we do not get control of this, we could be a target for another nation, perhaps China or Russia, that would love to build a larger empire on the bodies of our weakened people, as I said in the article.
And Ron, I had a guest on, I think it was this week, talking about the fact that so many people don't realize that the biggest percentage of the budget, it's not defense, used to be, but now it's the war on poverty. It's all these 160 programs or different departments, or I don't have the figure. I shouldn't even mess with it. But that's where the money's going, you know. And
well, it's even worse than that, Chuck, because as the feds are forced to raise the interest rate, the interest we will pay on the national debt will exceed the budget for defense, and that is a very scary proposition.
Well, I'm looking for some good news. Oh yeah, well, it's Easter. Okay,
there'll be some here somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, we have just about run out of time here, Ron. So, most important thing, hey, if you want to check out this platform, and he also has a bunch of links. I'm looking for them. They kind of went crazy on my paper when I printed it. If you think we should run, you got a link there. If you think we're a fool to run, you got a link there. And if you would donate to our effort, you got a link there, all right? And if you want to check out the entire platform, go to narlo.org, narlo.org/president, and then it's HTML, right?
Yeah, .html. And before anybody donates any money to our cause, I ask them to read our next article in News with Views.
Is that about not taking monopoly money?
No. But it sheds some light on how difficult it is to be run for president.
All right. And what's the title of that one going to be?
The title of that one, Can an Obscure Author Rise Out of the Shadows to Become President?
All right. Thank you, Ron. We'll do it again, sir.
Thank you so much, Chuck.
Hey, when next we meet Michael Warren, Weekly Standard, talking about Harry Reid. Phyllis Schlafly, her latest, What's Happening on College Campuses, and Bill Federer, his excellent article, Slavery and Those Who Struggle to End It. Thanks for listening, and slower traffic, keep to the right, and thanks to Paul Stern for keeping us right.
CRN Digital Talk Radio prides itself on being the station of every situation. Of course, you can always listen live through your local cable TV provider, as well as on our website at crntalk.com. But if cutting-edge technology is more your style, you'll be happy to know that CRN is now available on Wi-Fi radio. Simply log on to Reciva.com. That's RECIVA.com and look for CRN. You can access all of our great shows and listen live anywhere in the world. Be part of your favorite shows and get the full CRN listening experience you would have with any traditional radio, podcast, or a live stream from our website. For more information on where or how to listen, and for a full list of our programming, log on to crntalk.com and create your own listening experience today.
The radio channel.
Welcome to Healthline Live, brought to you every day at this same time, Monday through Friday. Your host is Dr. Bob Marshall, Ph.D. A clinical nutritionist for over 35 years, he's successfully helped more than 50,000 people. That's why he's known for nutrition that really works. And he's here today to share nutritional secrets which have taken years to discover and which he's implemented on his own health journey. The all-natural, excipient-free live source products that Dr. Marshall recommends have been created using the highest manufacturing standards available for dietary supplements. Dr. Marshall's comments have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. On each and every show, Dr. Marshall listens to your health and nutrition questions and provides education for your continued good health. And now, here's Dr. Marshall.
Welcome to Healthline Live. We're here to answer your nutrition and health-related questions. Feel free to call us right now. We have lines open. Our toll-free number, 888-588-7576, 888-588-7576. 7576, and you visit us online, qnlabs.com. And out there you can hear prior broadcasts, see all of our radio listening times. Feel free to join us on Saturday for our 1-hour blockbuster show, usually in the mornings. You can look that up, qnlabs.com, and lots more. And don't forget, every day we come to you, we've got a special for you to reward you for tuning in and listening, so you and your family can enjoy your best health and keep that best health. So today we're going to have our CoQ10 on special, and this is, of course, is genuine quantum cardiovascular nerve, brain, and immune support. And what I love about CoQ10, of course, is that this is a live source product that is relatively inexpensive and really quite a potent powerhouse. So if you want to support the little energy factories of the cell, the mitochondria, this is food for the mitochondria, whether those are in your heart muscle or any other muscle. This guy is the guy that can make such a difference, but also it has been shown to help the immune system and the brain. And so this is as good as it gets, live source, really potent. You have, 100 milligrams per capsule and 60 caps, and it's going to be, normally it would be $19.95, but when you buy two, you'll get 50% off the second one, which is 25% off each, so it's just $14.96. So you want to jump on this. This is no weird chemical additives. Nice product. Nutrition that really works day in and day out. So feel free to give a buzz to the order line and get that today. That order line number, 800-370-3434.